Alright guys, now it is time for the top 5.
And you don't need tissues this
And
week.
you don't! I promise you, I know we've been getting deep the past couple weeks, I know. But this one is brought to you by our podcast producer Jason, who's just been rocking and rolling, gave him a shout out at the top of the show. But he's really been killing it with the top 5 segments in general. This one, on-screen duos.
Yes.
Top 5 on-screen duos. And I mean, it was tough, man, because I mean, you were like, oh, is it with actors who've worked a lot together? Is it with just 2 actors that worked really well in a specific movie?
Right.
And like,
was it male-female?
Yeah.
Or was it real-life duos? Because, you know, like Humphrey Bogart and you know, Lauren Bacall.
Yeah.
Was it real-life? So he clarified for us. So it's on-screen duos. Didn't matter whether it was man or woman or 2 guys, 2 women. Just on-screen duos.
yes.
So now that we got that out of the way.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm very ready.
All right.
My number 5 goes back to one of the films that made me want to become a filmmaker. That I watched this and I was just like, holy shit. Like, you can really tell a story, even if it's so far out there like this, and just pitch it to a studio and have the whole world see it and have, like, this amazing success. I'm talking about Fight Club with Tyler Durden and the narrator. I mean, of course, Brad Pitt and Edward Norton.
Yes.
Damn, man. I mean, both of them phenomenal, stellar actors that just worked so well together.
That movie's still one of my all-time favorites.
Same.
You know, I'm normally really good at figuring out the hook.
Yeah.
And I did not see it coming.
Yeah.
I did not see it coming. Just brilliantly done. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Brilliant duo.
I agree.
I want to see something with them again. Like,
I
honestly.
agree. They deserve it.
All right, my number 5 should make total sense to everybody because I'm old.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm going with it anyway. Kirk and Spock from not just from the show, but I mean, people forget they did 6 feature films together with the Star Trek universe also. So it only makes sense. The forever best friendship, you know, as Spock would say to Kirk when he was dying, "I have been, am now, and forever shall be your friend." And so it only makes sense that I would pick them because they're epic film friends.
Yeah. You want to hear something funny? When I was going through and finding all of the pictures for our YouTube video for this, all of your pictures were old and grainy.
Sure they were, but
Sure
that's
they
fine
were.
because
It's
I'm a film
fine.
guy.
It's fine.
I'm a film guy. You know, I should say though, they're an epic duo off screen too.
Yeah.
You know, you heard all the rumors that Shatner was hard to work with, or he was, you know, blah, blah. But Nimoy and Shatner were like best friends, and had a mutual respect and friendship in the entire time until Nimoy died. So
Yeah.
just cool.
Good to hear, man. Good to hear. My number 4 is Danny Ocean and Rusty Ryan. George Clooney and Brad Pitt. These 2, mellow, cool, laid-back motherfuckers that just steal the fucking camera every time they come on screen. Like, your eyes are locked on these 2, especially when they have scenes and dialogue together. They're so fucking good. And then you throw fucking Julia Roberts in the mix. It's so good. This film has such an A-list cast, like Bernie Mac and fucking... Yeah, it's just so good.
Yep, it's a remake.
Whatever.
Because I'm old.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, to be fair, most people had no idea that was a remake.
Yeah, I know.
But it was. But I agree with you, and I see a theme going with Pitt.
Yeah.
I see a theme going. It's
Yeah.
all right. It's Brad Pitt.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, there should be a theme going. It's Brad Pitt. Like, I mean, come on. My number 4, Doc and Marty.
Oh, of course.
Back to the Future.
Of course.
One of the most epic on-screen duos ever. Like, I love so many stories about, you know, Michael J. Fox wasn't even the original Marty.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's so many different things going on with that franchise. You know, what you hear, what you don't hear. But these 2 were the epitome of perfect casting when it all came together and
agree.
it happened. And I just don't think you're going to get that chemistry again. I mean, Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, just brilliant together.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they came back and did like a little skit and fucking, what was it, Jimmy Fallon or
Yes.
Jimmy Kimmel, one of them. And I just, every time they're together, it's so awesome. And that Doc does not die. He's never going to die.
No, I mean, he's pretty much looked exactly the same since the first Back to the Future movie in like 85. You know, and I loved him. I just think he's a brilliant actor. Jim Ignatowski on Taxi.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's just so good, you know? I love that guy.
Definitely, definitely. Well, number 3 for me, this is by no surprise. Everybody listening to this podcast knows I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, so of course I have to put on there Jay and Silent Bob, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. They've done so many freaking movies together, and rightfully so, because not a lot of people know the backstory of that. He was literally trying to put Jason Mewes in as many of his movies as he could, so this man would not go out, be alone, and do drugs. Even though he did that, he basically stole from fucking Kevin Smith, stole from everybody. Everybody cut Jason Mewes out of their life, but not Kevin Smith. He was always bringing that motherfucker back in, always trying to get him clean. And I mean, he is the reason Jason Mewes is alive today.
Yep.
And so, like, the on-screen dynamic between Jay and Silent Bob, and then the real-life friendship between these two is just amazing.
Yeah. And it's perfect to have on the list.
Yeah.
It's an inspiring story for sure, and goes a long way to tell you what kind of a guy Kevin Smith is.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, just fantastic. My number 3, one of the most epic Westerns of all time.
Yeah.
And I watch it every time I see it that it comes on. I'm talking about Butch and Sundance.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Paul Newman and Robert Redford, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I mean, still one of my favorite films of all time. They also did The Sting together, which is another epic classic film that's just like super awesome.
Yeah.
You know, you know, everybody plays that fucking song on the piano, you know, from The Sting.
Yeah.
But yeah, just an epic on-screen duo. But I think seriously one of the best Westerns ever shot, and the teamwork and just that scene where they jump off the cliff and shit together, just brilliant.
That's definitely one of my must-see. I still haven't seen that one. I mean, it's old, but I mean, so many people have talked about that one, and I mean, of course, you talk about it all the time. So, like, yeah, that's definitely one I need to see.
What? It's classic.
It's classic. That's what they say.
Yeah,
but
okay.
But it's old.
That's not old.
It's pretty old.
Right.
How old is Robert Redford? In his 90s?
Hey, man, he was still good for the MCU.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Like,
and Paul Newman, although has passed, still has a hell of a fucking marinara sauce.
Yeah.
And salad dressing and all kinds of shit.
Agreed.
Just saying.
Yeah. Number two for me, not the real life people, because this movie was based on real life people. Crooks, I might say. Crooks. Jordan Belfort and Donnie Azoff. In the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill for Wolf of Wall Street. These two acting together. Jonah Hill is also one of my favorite actors, and I didn't want to throw another Brad Pitt movie up there, so I didn't throw up Moneyball with Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt. But just the chemistry these two had on set and on screen, like, is honestly amazing. So it was great to see. And it's Martin Scorsese. What the hell? It's a great freaking movie.
And it's Margot Robbie.
Yeah. Like...
Enough said.
Enough said on that.
She was my favorite part of that movie. I liked the movie. I enjoyed the movie. And like you said, it was a true story. And so, you know, kind of a thing. But for me, it's always just going to be Wall Street.
Yeah.
Wall Street is my movie for that type of a storyline and everything. So, you know. But agreed. I think they're an epic on-screen duo. Yeah. And you should have gone with Brad Pitt. And you know, I mean, it would have been a good
But I wouldn't know who to take off.
It's true.
Yeah, you know, like, I really wouldn't have.
God, now I want to watch Moneyball, though. That was a great movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. Speaking of great movies, maybe not necessarily, you know, always great guys, but great movies nonetheless, and great actors. My number 2 on-screen duo, Merton Riggs from Lethal Weapon, man. Yeah. I mean, come on. These guys are hilarious in these movies. The movies are epic. They're doing another one. We talked about that on the show several months back. They're doing another one. Everybody's coming back. And now that apparently, you know, Scorsese was able to drag Pesci out of, you know, under the rock, maybe he'll come back for it.
That'd be badass.
Oh my God, that'd be so good. But yeah, I mean, these movies are the epitome of teamwork and buddies and, you know, lifelong friends and kind of a, you know, and the back and forth dynamic and just, one of my all-time favorite.
Yeah, not a lot of people know you met Danny Glover.
I did meet Danny Glover, and it was an interesting conversation, to say the very least.
Yeah.
Just good. I mean, it was about the Boys and Girls Club. He was there to help open a Boys and Girls Club, and does a lot of charity work and a lot of stuff with community and everything. It was a scattered, busy day for Danny Glover that day. Well, I'm just
always is.
I'm just gonna say that, and you know, but very kind, a very genuine man. You know, took the time to come talk to me, and we talked for several minutes. Talked about Crazy Ant and you know his career and stuff, and me getting started in the career and everything. Very generous guy, nice guy.
Definitely. Well, now, my number 1, Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth, Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, these two are literally my 1 and 2 favorite actors, so it makes sense for them to finally be in a movie together and just, like, blow it out of the water, honestly. I mean, everybody knows Brad Pitt won Best Supporting Actor for this movie. Honestly, Leo should have won Best Actor, but it's fine. Joaquin got a little crazy for Joker, so It makes sense. But this was just such a fucking great movie. And then you throw in Quentin Tarantino and Margot Robbie again.
Yes. And Spencer Garrett.
Spencer
Garrett worked with him on this and way back on television in Dallas.
Dallas.
Where, like, Brad Pitt was a wee youngin'. Like, nobody even knew who he was.
Yeah, he talks about that in our first interview with him.
It's an interesting story. It's a really fun story. You guys should go back and listen to that.
Hell yeah.
But that's a great on-screen duo, though. I mean, the whole thing, when he tries to fire him at the end because he can't afford him anymore, and he's like, I'm not leaving you. I don't care
still
if you
here,
pay me.
yeah.
Just an epic story. Brilliant performances. I love that. So this next one, from childhood all the way up to adulthood and everywhere in between, you're going to know, you're going to love, and you're going to agree. My number 1, Buzz and Woody.
Yes!
Like, is there a more epic on-screen duo than Buzz and Woody? I don't know. It's hard to match right there, man.
That is hard.
It's hard to match, so... Woo! I mean, come on. To infinity and beyond. From the first get-go from the movie and how that's the jealousy and, like, the whole dynamic of their relationship, how it changes over the scope of the movies and how the true friendship and bond is put together and everything like that. It's just absolutely brilliant.
Have you got a chance to watch the 4th one yet?
I have not.
Disney Plus, bro.
Okay, well, see, gotta do it.
It is good. It's a good send-off to Woody. Spoiler alert, but I'm sure a lot of people knew that.
We said no tissues for this one, bro.
But yeah, that's just... Those pair right there, those two guys, Tim Allen and Tom Hanks, like, especially when I was growing up, when they were both, like, at the fucking top of the top.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great casting, especially for animated. When they do press runs, it's always fun.
Yeah, and just nailed the characters.
Yeah.
I mean, they are the epitome of the characters. Two people that you would think side by side would be like, what?
Yeah.
But just killed it, man.
Yeah.
Just killed it.
I agree. But thank you guys for listening to the Top 5 episode. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you. If you're listening on the podcast, be sure to go back and watch the video on YouTube. Because, we get a little crazy.
And he'll put up the grainy old pics. It's
fantastic.
Exactly.
And be sure to like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. We appreciate you. Great Top 5.